And now, ChairShot Sports presents This Week in Wrestling.
Hey everybody, how we doing? John Anthony, ChairShot Sports, as always, a SportCon affiliate, and as always, every day of the week, twice on Sunday, powered by Zoa Energy. Thank you so much for joining me. I appreciate it. I'm John Anthony. This is the ChairShot Sports Week in Wrestling Review. So thank you so much for joining us. I appreciate that. Our newest show we brought out a couple weeks ago every Wednesday. We kind of run down all the stuff that happened, Raw, SmackDown, NXT, and go over some hot topics. And this week is no different from any of that. Obviously, we'll talk about Raw, SmackDown, NXT. I'll run through those a little quickly, quicker than usual. And then I want to get into, obviously, LFG, the season finale. A little bit of controversy around that, depending on who you talk to. But the biggest thing is, obviously, we have Battleground this Sunday. But before Battleground, a awesome Saturday night main event card to talk about as well. So we're going to give our predictions for Saturday, for Sunday. Make sure, just real quick show moment, catch us tomorrow on, Friday in the morning. We're going to be doing our Talking TNA Under Siege Predictions edition. And obviously, if you haven't catched it already, go check out the Double or Nothing prediction show we did last Saturday, talking about as far as all the matches, all that stuff. Had a great panel, great discussions about everything. So we were very, very excited. But yeah. What's going on, Jesse Skywalker, the host of The Lowdown that I have the privilege of co-hosting. What's going on? Thanks for stopping in. But yeah, so real quick, let's just get through all that. And obviously, for those of you that read X, that had an idea, if that's what you're tuning in for, I guess I gotta make you wait till flap my gums for about 45 minutes. But we do have some major news regarding the ChairShot Sports Media Group brand. I'm going to share that with you folks at the end, but looks like you got to wait, or maybe catch the highlights later. I don't know. We'll see what happens. But let's just start on Friday real quick on SmackDown. Again, kind of abbreviated. Usually I take a little more time, go into detail, talk about where the storylines are going, but I kind of want to get to the predictions, spend a little time on that, also the announcement, and also LFG too. SmackDown obviously kicked off. Bloodline came out. The breaking up of them is definitely in effect. Definitely you're getting it. Obviously, Solo is out here mimicking Fatu. LA Knight gets involved, the whole thing. JC Montero is there. Monteo is there now, so that's awesome stuff. We'll talk about him in a minute as well. Women's Money in the Bank qualifier match. We had Chelsea Green, Alexa Bliss, and Mishin. If you didn't know who was going to win this match, I'm sorry, but Alexa Bliss walks out. She qualifies to go and try to be a two-time Money in the Bank women's briefcase holder. R-Truth had a great interview in regards to John Cena. For those of you that don't know, didn't see it, the interview was brought to you by the words hustle, loyalty, respect. Truth is pretty much like, listen, if I got to beat sense into John Cena, that's exactly what I'm going to do. I think the match is going to be great. We'll talk about that. We start talking about Saturday night's main event. Excuse me. Cass, what's going on? Thanks so much for jumping in. Appreciate that. And again, guys, if this is your first time watching, fully interactive, feel free to get into the comments. If I talk about something, you got something you want to say, I'll throw it up on the screen. Obviously, we have no problem in any of my shows going on tangents, going down roads, which adds to another 15, 20 minutes of it. Men's qualifier, as far as Money in the Bank on SmackDown, we had Solo Sikoa taking on Jimmy Uso, Rey Fenix, obviously with a lot of nefarious tactics outside the ring. Solo is able to get the win here and going for his first Money in the Briefcase and in his first Money in the Briefcase match. So very, very, very excited for that as well. Becky Lynch, I'm sorry, that was on Raw, so we'll go to Raw in a minute. So overall, the show was good. Good show. Obviously, the go home for Saturday Night Main Event is going to be this upcoming Friday. Saturday Night Main Event isn't a huge deal. It's obviously kind of like not a very elevated house show, but still good matches. So SmackDown was good. We talked about it on the SmackDown Shakedown, which we do every night, 12:30 a.m. following SmackDown on Fridays. And then there was Raw. Raw is now Rocks, baby. Roxanne Perez is officially signed with Adam Pearce over on the Red brand. Awesome stuff. That goes with Julia, who is now over on the Blue brand. So definitely cool that they were a little tag team for a little bit. Kind of just two minds that are working in the same direction. Split them up. It's good for them on the brands they went to. I think the rivalries and the people that they can fight with is going to be awesome. We have a women's Money in the Bank qualifying match. Becky Lynch, Roxanne, newly signed, gets in, and Natty as well. Hell of a match. Awesome stuff. And this is why I'm so excited that Roxanne is finally up on the main card like legitimately signed contract, no bones about it. If you've been watching her since NXT, even before she was the champion, working on doing the mic work, working on the stuff in the ring. What she did as NXT champion, women's champion, was amazing, and what she's done up on the brands, blue or red, before this contract signing with Adam Pearce, she's done amazing stuff. I'm here for it. She looks amazing. Very, very happy for what the future holds for that young lady moving forward. But the first thing on that docket and in the future is going to be going for that Money in the Bank briefcase. So very excited for it as well. Rhea Ripley, Kairi Sane, and Zoe Stark are your next qualifier. First off, prayers out to Zoe Stark. One hell of an injury. Obviously, one miscue in this business, whether it be a missile drop kick, landing the wrong way with a finisher off the top rope, doing it. It could be a suplex for all it matters. So big shout out, man. Zoe, it's going to be a long road. Last I saw, she had some x-rays, was being evaluated. Surgery obviously is going to be imminent. I'm sure it's not going to be something that's going to be 2-3 weeks, 4-6 weeks. I'm sure it's down the road, probably talking something with a Rumble. Hopefully not longer than that, but it definitely something that's going to be long-term, probably the rest of 2025. But overall, again, Raw, great show. And there's a lot of stuff I didn't talk about. The Seth Rollins stuff, Gunther, but again, just kind of getting out of the main key points of the shows. Have a lot of the stuff I want to get into. NXT was good, man. Good go-home show for Battleground. We got Trick Williams out here rapping. I got Joe Hendry singing. Good disses, good diss tracks. I liked it. I was here for it. The rap was pretty good. Joe Hendry, always good on the guitar. Getting the rock concert vibes with Joe Hendry. So those two segments were great. Fallon Henry and Lola Vice put on a banger. If you don't usually watch NXT or you happen to miss this match, go back and watch. Wow. I'm not the biggest fan of Fallon Henley, but wow, she did some great work against Lola Vice this past Tuesday, man. Awesome stuff from her. And obviously, the match card is going to be awesome. We're going to talk about that card for Sunday on Battleground. Walk down it, some great bangers, and I think we're in for a lot of surprises. I'm going to talk about that as well. But yeah, so let's get right into that then. Let's get into the Saturday Night main event. Let's start with that. No particular order here. I guess kind of like all the matches are I think we know it's going to main event. Yeah, so we got CM Punk and Sami Zayn taking on Seth Rollins and Braun Breaker. Just in a regular tag team match. Yeah, this match is going to be good, man. I'm excited for it. It's going to be good. Now, obviously, with this match, a lot of people, this is where we think we get the third man. Now, a lot of rumors have been out there. Who was in the locker room? Who could be getting called up from NXT? Who might that person be that fits the billing of what the new Seth Rollins, Paul Heyman regime with Braun Breaker, right? Who fits that mold? Who can kind of get in there? I put the name out there. I said Austin Theory is the one. If you looked over on SmackDown, Austin Theory and Waller are having their issues. Who knows? That might break up. We'll see what happens. But yeah, I'm sorry, over on Raw. But the biggest name coming out right now, and I think it's too easy. It's too easy to pick this one because he's in the match. A lot of people have been throwing out the Sami Zayn name, that he's going to turn heel here, align himself with Seth, where kind of Sammy's like, listen, I really can't beat him, so I gotta join him. Whereas he gave Sammy his out to go to the Blue Brand, get off of Raw, get out of the way. Maybe Sammy here against someone like CM Punk, who not a lot of people like. It's no secret whatsoever. So Sami Zayn, I don't think the turn. I'm here for a Sami Zayn heel turn. I think it's going to be great when it does happen. Sammy has always been a great heel. I don't know, man. It's tough. I can tell you, Seth and Braun are going to win. They're going to walk. That's going to be the winner. That's a bar none. Those two are going to win the match. They're going to walk out, whether it be, Punk doing something. I'm sorry, Sammy doing something, someone interfering, whatever is going to happen. Yeah, it's definitely going to be them two winning, but it's just a matter of who's going to interfere. Maybe no one interferes. Maybe we're talking about all this for nothing. It just goes over clean. Maybe Sammy goes to do something to help Punk, and it's a miscommunication. Punk gets a smash, 1, 2, 3, eats a pin, takes an L. So maybe there is no third man. The Saturday night's main event matches are very well known to talk up a lot of stuff that could happen, might happen, maybe even should happen. but it doesn't. And it just ends up being the regular match. You're getting a 1, 2, 3, whether it's nefarious or not from other people coming in or just down an avenue we even think about, and it just happens. But I don't know. I think Sami Zayn may be the third guy, but I just don't know if it happens yet. I feel like it needs to be something maybe closer to SummerSlam, where on a bigger stage, maybe Jay is going against somebody in Seth Rollins' club, and that's kind of where Sami comes down for the save and turns, gives him a haluva kick in the corner. So I'm not against the Sami Zayn turn. I just don't think it happens Saturday night. Maybe we get some kind of weird, like he goes to kick CM Punk and stops. Maybe even comes out in the main event against Logan Paul, does something like that. Yeah, I mean, I think you're the minority, man. Mike, the more and Spedrock, thank you so much for you guys jumping in at the run-in every night. Every Thursday night, 8:00. But yeah, I think it would be a different heel. Obviously, it wouldn't be like, the kind of guy we had before. I think it might be more of a polished, kind of just groomed into that group kind of thing. Like now Braun's coming out in the suits, the 3-piece, so I don't know, man. It's growing on me. It has legs because it would make sense for Sami to who's the one guy he knows on Raw that Jay has his back, that he knows is going to handle business, do their thing. Sami Zayn. If he loses Sami, who the hell else does Jay have on that roster? On the red brand, obviously the blue brand. Obviously, there's plenty of people on Raw. Like Jay's on an island. Jimmy's over on SmackDown. Jay's on an island, man, and not the island. This island irrelevancy. It's like, man, I don't know, man. But I can see a Sami turn, but I think it's more like SummerSlam, and it costs Jay the belt. You get yourself a nice Jey Uso, Sami Zayn feud, which I think there's so many layers. You start peeling that back with the history. You're going back to the bloodline when he was the honorary Uso. You go back. There's levels. The mic work is going to be amazing. Jay is going to. Sami is going to cut deep with some of the stuff he has to say. Seth is going to go off with it. Paul Heyman had Sami in the group. It makes a lot of sense. So I digress. I'm not going to go on for another 20 minutes about this one match on Saturday main event, but I think we get a little bit of a tease. Something might happen, but it's not this time. I think if you're gonna see it, if it does happen, Sami Zayn turns heel at SummerSlam and costs Jay the World Heavyweight Championship. Those are my thoughts as far as that match. And then while we're talking about, let's jump right into it, guys. The World Heavyweight Championship. Jey Uso, Logan Paul. I know all of your guys' favorites. Logan Paul is facing Jey Uso for the World Heavyweight Championship. This match is a little surprising to me. I didn't think Logan Paul would get a title shot on Saturday night main event. This is definitely going to be just like, hey, Logan, here you go. There you go. Thanks for coming. Thanks. Not at SummerSlam. I would have thought SummerSlam for anything. That would have been a lot of money on SummerSlam. Maybe even Survivor Series. You make it make sense. Hell, Money in the Bank. But no, you get a Saturday night main event. So I can tell you, maybe this is the biggest swerve of all. Maybe Sami gets involved in this match. Does something, ends up costing Jay the belt. You never know. I think it's a little too soon. I'm not saying Jay's going to be a long-term champion. I can see Jay, honestly, 6 months tops, unfortunately. And don't at me at this, man. Don't come. Nothing against Jay, okay? But there's a little bit. Put the title on Jay. Take the title off of Jay. He's still going to yeet. The merch is going to sell. He's still coming out of the crowd. The kids still love him. Everything is gravy. He's still good. And he's going to chase again. Maybe he goes back to the IC. Hell, maybe they switch him over to SmackDown and goes over for that title. Now he's been a champion on Raw. Maybe now they can do something over there. He wants to be, going for Grand Slams, want to be a double champ on both brands, things like that. But Jay, 6 months, that's kind of where I'm at with that. Real quick, let me just bring this up real quick. Total Control game. I don't see his run being long, even though I love. No. And listen, I've said this, and people have gotten mad at me. I love Jey Uso, man, and he's not just an entrance. It's not just 4 letters, 1 word. It's not. It's more than that. He really is. But he's gotten 1 word over like no man has ever. I think the last time this has gotten done is probably from Stone Cold. But I love him too. But just he's not a long-term champion, and that's okay. That's the one thing I don't get. It's okay for him to have like a 5-month title run. He was the champ. He won. He got his moment, baby. He's main event. He had his moment at WrestleMania, man. He made Gunther tap out. Damn, like they set it all up for him. He's good. He's gravy, baby. It's good. He's not gonna. This is the last time he's gonna be a world champion. That's right too. Thank you. Yes, from Daniel Bryan. That's very true. Definitely those three are in the top three. Maybe we'll talk about that next week as far as like top 5 one-word catchphrases that got over from wrestlers. But thank you for that, Mike. But yeah, no. But again, Jey Uso, I think Jey Uso wins here. Jey Uso wins here. Logan Paul, we're just gonna have to deal with what happens on Raw with him coming on the mic. I don't know where you kind of go with Logan Paul after this. Unfortunately, I know a lot of us have been thinking it. I talked about a little bit on the Raw rundown with Mike and Jesse this past week. It's the next spot is obviously he doesn't win that title on Sunday. On Saturday, I apologize. He's gonna try to qualify for Money in the Bank, and he's probably gonna get into Money in the Bank. I know none of us want to see it. I know, but hey, the guy can wrestle. The spots are great. Get mad all you want. Hate that man. Apparently, according to him, it's forced, but it is what it is. Hate him all you want. The guy can wrestle. He's decent on the mic, and he gets the followers. People buy the merch, man. And TKO, man, they're all about the money. It is what it is. But I can see him losing Saturday. Monday night, he comes out in a qualifying match, whether it be that night or the week after, like the last the last chance kind of match and getting into it. But I can see him definitely being included in the Money in the Bank match in June. Damian Priest, Drew McIntyre, the steel cage match. We're all wanting to see it. This is probably the one match I think was probably the hardest for me to pick. There's only 4 of them. Nate Dogg, what's going on, baby? Thank you for jumping in. Appreciate you. This match, it's good. There's going to be blood. It's going to be gruesome. It's going to be bloody. I'm glad that they did the steel cage and not a Hell in a Cell match, especially with Drew, because that puts some kind of like CM Punk, Drew McIntyre, like that's 2 blow-off matches, kind of Hell in a Cell. Though Hell in a Cell is built to be the end-all, be-all, but I think they're going to do a great job of making this cage match awesome, very violent, a lot of blood. I think both guys really get messed up here, not in a bad way, but they're gonna take it to each other, leave it all in that ring. I've been going back and forth on this, man. It's tough because I really think this is the blow-off. Like Drew was saying, you're obsessed with me, things like that. And it sounds like sounds like maybe one CM Punk he was at one time. But this is definitely the blow-off. This is the one last time, the one last match where they're going to leave it all out there, which is why I can tell you it's going to be awesome, awesome stuff. I got to give it to Drew McIntyre. Drew needs to win this. He's lost the battles. He needs to win the war and take this onto the net, wherever's next for him. Does Drew jump into Money in the Bank? Who knows? That's what I'm saying. A lot of the things that happen on Saturday are going to definitely influence what we're going to get as far as the next couple qualifying matches. We know there's one on SmackDown next week. But on Raw, they really haven't announced much in regards of that. And if you notice too, not a lot of the men's over on Raw side, so we'll see what happens. But I think Drew McIntyre walks out here. No, and that makes sense. No, this was tough. Again, I'm looking at this kind of long term. Priest can kind of come out of this. Yeah, I lost that, and he can jump into a pretty good rivalry and get off of that. See, again, everybody, it's 50-50, man. And it's not a matter of either guy deserves it. Either one can go off of this and win and really catapult going into the next thing. I just don't see Damian losing here and then jumping into Money in the Bank. He was kind of the last year kind of win it. And I don't know if that really happens. But yeah, Drew McIntyre here, guys. It's a tough pick. It's a tough pick. If I'm wrong here, I'm pleasantly surprised. I'm happy with it. And good for Damian, man. I'm happy. I like it. I like it. So, and then we come to our 4th match, the non-title match with John Cena and R-Truth. Now this match I had John Cena out the gate. As soon as they made it, I was like, John Cena wins. But then I got to thinking, right? We saw what happened at Backlash, right? We see the twing in the eye. You see John kind of contemplating life, right? When you're trying to work that machine at the gym and the guy's just sitting there and you're waiting to get your reps in. What is he doing? He's contemplating life. And what was John doing? Thinking about, what am I doing? How am I doing this? Like this? Who am I? And you saw that all on his face, picks up the belt, walks away, Stands at the entrance of the ramp and walks away. Can John Cena take an L here? Could he? Maybe. Could it be maybe by DQ? So R-Truth technically wins, right? It doesn't hurt John in the least. It doesn't hurt John in the least. Any bit. No momentum, no nothing. Because it's R-Truth. And the R-Truth story is its own story in its own. It's been playing for so long. For so long, the two of these have been back and forth and have been like enamored with each other through the whole journey. Let me just go to Nate real quick. Cena, no doubt, but not for title. Makes me think Cena puts over Truth. That's what I'm thinking. See, that's what I thought. Literally, like maybe 20 minutes before I sat down in front of the camera, and I was like, and I don't like change. I don't like changing my predictions. If I pick something, I pick it. It's it. We go. And if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But I'm literally like, man, R-Truth. Damn. But then I thought on the other side of it, right? What if it's just like not a pummeling? Because I think it's going to be competitive. Truth is going to get some stuff in there. I think it's going to be slapstick and funny when we get started. Truth kind of like doing his thing, maybe doing some of the moves. John's gonna like just pretty much slap the shit out of him, and Truth is gonna be like, "Oh, well, we're not playing. Oh, you don't want to? Okay." And then you get the serious R-Truth, the K Quick, the Ron Killings from TNA that we had in the run a while back in WWE. That heel Truth with Little Jimmy. It's tough. This is why Saturday Main Event is so predictable, but yet it's not, because this is where and the fact that it's non-title. That's kind of a big deal. That's kind of a big deal, though. Why wouldn't Cena put it on the line? Make it more like Cena, maybe Truth is like, oh, I'm going to take the belt, whatever. The fact that it's not title, I'm like, oh, it's an exhibition match. John can take an L here. And it wouldn't be like a clean 1, 2, 3, whatever. It would be something, DQ, something stupid like that. John goes to hit him with the belt. Maybe he hits him with that belt, whatever, like anything like that. But yeah, I've been thinking about it. So I'm going to stick with John Cena. Only because I'm thinking John Cena gets a win here and kind of just takes it to Truth. I think we get an R-Truth heel turn. Because he's that interview on SmackDown, so adamant about John. John's there. It's in there somewhere. I just got to find it. But then you go back to what happened at Backlash. Maybe R-Truth can beat it out of him. So these are the things I like about when you're having these stories, these little matches. And the fact that it's 4 matches can tell me that these are going to breathe. That Priest McIntyre match is gonna cook. There are no way, shape, or form trying to hurry that match up. Real quick, let's go to the comments real quick. Total Control. I don't think Truth wins, but I do think it will change Hell Cena a bit. Yeah, no, Again, the more of the like, maybe he hits him with the AAA, makes him tap out to the STFU, and kind of gets it done, and like maybe like kind of looks down at him. We kind of feel he feels bad. He's got the doubt. He's like, man, now I'm beating on my biggest fan. And Truth is looking at him like, why? That's what I want Truth. Just be like, he takes the L and looks up at John. He's like, why, John? Why? Why are you doing it? And he's telling him, lots of loyalty. He's just kind of saying it to John. And you can see it kind of jargon in John's head. And if that's the way we're going to start running this the next 3, 4, 5 months before we get to the final match in December here in Boston at the TD Garden, that is going to be awesome, where you just see them start to just crack and like, what am I doing? Nate Dogg as well. That R-Truth smoking is what we need for real though, right? But yeah, so I think it's a toss. I'm going to stick with John because that's just my pick, and I don't want to rehash all of that. I'm going to stick with John, but I think if it is John, he's just going to beat the hell out of R-Truth, and Ron's going to be like, why are you doing this? Why? You're better than, and just kind of and you see the look on John's face, like start to like, what am I in contort and like, oh my God, what am I doing? What have I become? And just kind of looking again at the heavyweight belt, at the undisputed belt, and just like, what am I? What have I become? So I think that is kind of the way they go off the air on Peacock on Saturday night. So I honestly think it's going to be. I know a lot of times it's like I said, it's an elevated house show, right? Most of these we can predict what's going to happen, but I think it's how we get to that ending. How we get to that is where it's going to be the most entertainment. I'm excited for that. But again, that Priest Drew Cell, I'm like so excited for that. It's going to cook, man. I'm so pumped. All right. So with that being said, obviously that's Saturday. Now we'll go to Sunday, right? Sunday is WWE NXT Battleground. Some great matches going on here tonight. Battleground is also going to be going up against AEW Double or Nothing. Myself, Jesse B, and some other gents as well did an entire panel this past Saturday on Double or Nothing. Awesome stuff. A lot of hot takes, a lot of great thoughts, some great predictions as well of how things could go down. I'm telling you, some of what they did is going to be wild. So we did that. It was last Saturday. Definitely check that out on YouTube and on X. It was a great time. It was an awesome show. I definitely highly suggest you guys take a look at that. So I guess we'll just start again. Battleground. Toward the end, I think there's 2-3 big matches we're going to have toward the end. Maybe one opens, maybe it doesn't. I don't know. But we'll just start. Hank and Tank and Josh Briggs going against the Culling, obviously, which is Brooks, Vance, and Spears. This is starting to get a little personal, and I like how they're including Hank and Tank out here, even though they're not defending their championships, but they're still out here. They're getting involved in that. Obviously, they have Briggs' back in this rivalry. So and him getting attacked. So I got the Culling going over here. The Brooks breaks thing, that's going to start being a thing. I think that's going to be very intentional. Obviously, they're talking about a little bit this past Tuesday as well, referencing a couple of things. So I think that's intentional and done for a reason. But I think everyone gets their hands on everybody. I do think the Culling takes a win here. Spears, had a little bit of a North American Championship run. Lost the belt. They were taking a lot of L's. Not to lie. The Culling was taking some L's, man. So I can definitely see them coming out here. Hank and Tank, obviously, big faces. Briggs trying to turn them into a big face, obviously going against the Culling. But the Culling, I think it's a 1-2-3 here, and they pick up the win. And then we come to a very interesting match, especially if you watch this past Tuesday. Sol Ruca is now going to be taking on Kalani Jordan for the Women's North American Championship. Zarea lost the match this past Tuesday. I'm on Wednesday. This past Tuesday, and opened up Kalani getting a title match. So, again, if you've watched me over on the run-in, if you've watched my prediction shows with other people and things like that, I don't like to pick the sexy pick. I always like to go, obviously, against everything. I'm wrong. I'm wrong 9 times out of 10. I'm not booking it. I don't have money on it. Any of these belts in my house, any of this stuff, none of these are on the line. All right. But I predicted how I'd book it, how I think it would make sense 2, 3, 4 months down the road. I tell everybody that. Because why would you pick that? Because it makes sense, and here's why. Kalani wins here. Kalani wins. I've talked about it before, how a lot of these mid-card belts need to not sit for a long period of time. Right now, Sol's a double champion. As far as I can say, when we're doing this recording, she's still speed champion. So she's a 2 champion, okay? She has 2 belts. Made sense. Zarya has been doing a lot of gatekeeping, a lot of doing a lot of the talking for Sol Ruca. And if you notice too, there's times that she takes a look and sees the belt, kind of looks over at the belt. It's almost like she's keeping other people away till she can get her shot at the belt. I think kind of goes down the very typical way that most teams do this. Zarya goes to make some help, either hits Sol the wrong way, hits Sol on accident. Kalani's able to pick up the 1, 2, 3, and she's the new champion, thus putting a little bit of a rift into these 2 young ladies, and then we get Sol and Zarya clashing. Probably, I'm not quite sure what Great American Bash, I think, is the next one. We're going into June. I don't think there's a PLE at Money in the Bank. So probably Great American Bash is probably their next one they're going to run. So I've got Kalani here walking out, your new women's North American champion over at NXT. So I think that's going to be a great match. It adds a lot of interest over on Tuesday nights. They do a lot of their own stuff on Tuesdays, a lot of cool stuff. Sean's cooking down there. There's a lot of people getting called up as far as the women's division. So they start building some people up, getting people in that main event spot. Obviously, Sol is definitely going to be an NXT women's champion down the road, probably sooner than later. Once everything gets settled out with obviously Stephanie and Jordan and all those people. But that's my pick for that match. Then we go to Tony D'Angelo and Stacks, Channing Lorenzo, the fight of the family, the Don taking on the underboss. This match is going to be awesome. There's so much hate and built up. If you have been watching NXT and watching the Don stuff, some of it's cheesy. Obviously, it's taking a page out of The Godfather. That's the kind of thing you like. They're burying people in the desert. All this other stuff is happening, right? People are in safe houses. Like, oh my God, we got the family showing up, backing up Tony. It's been really, really good cinema and done really well, right? Nothing too stupid, makes sense every week. Each guy's saying what they need to say, making a lot of sense because the D'Angelo family has a long history. I think about 2 years now they've been going strong. Obviously with the added added people into the family, but there's so much behind this and a lot writing on this as well. So there's 2 matches here where I have sort of like a prediction. I'm going to hold the prediction until I talk about the second match of what I think is going to happen. I think Channing wins here. He needs the win. You need to start building. It eventually is going to be a Don of a family. We don't know what family. His maybe a self-made family, a family he finds that needs leadership. But eventually Stacks is going to be that guy. Tony's very, very close to a call-up. Now, whether they're doing a draft in another week or two, a couple weeks or a month or two, a draft is probably imminent. Isaiah, what's going on, man? We've got some thoughts. The X Factor going to be the lady. I can't think of her name now. Who are we talking about? I don't know who you're talking about if you don't know who her name is. It could be a lot of people. If you guys remember, let me know. So yeah, Stacks gets the win here. He gets the rub. Tony is very much ticketed for the main roster. My only hope is that Tony gets over with the main roster. It works at NXT. Nothing against the fan. The NXT fans are NXT fans, and they know what to expect in a developmental brand. These people are working on things, they're figuring things out, they're trying to cement it. So when they get called up to red or blue, they make it make sense. It's ironclad, it's good to go, and it's over, and it's solid. Coming up as being the Don, it's going to be tough. They're going to have to morph it a little bit. Obviously, if he doesn't bring anyone up with him from NXT, obviously he's probably going to build his own family. But yeah, but I think Tony takes the L here. Again, maybe some nefarious tactics. I'll talk about that in a minute when I talk about the match after the next one. Mike, kicking out at 2. Thank you for showing up. Appreciate you, my man. Worlds collide if the next scheduled, unless they wait for Heat Wave, which hasn't been scheduled yet. Heat Wave. Thank you. That's it. I couldn't think. Is that before Great American Bash? Or is that during like July into August? Worlds collide, I think, is going to have nothing to do really with NXT within NXT. I think it's going to be NXT AAA, kind of that kind of thing going on. I don't think all the titles are going to be on the line, but I think those kind of 2 promotions, a whole lot going on. But you're right. Maybe they throw a match in here or there to make it interesting so people tune in. But I can get down with that. Absolutely. All right. So it is Bash first, then Heat Wave. That's what I thought, because so they run it like the weekend before 4th of July and then all that good stuff. And then, yeah. Okay, cool. Awesome. Either one though, Bash or Heat Wave, like Mike said. Either one. Bash, I think they run as a bigger one. Heat Wave, I think, is the 2-night event. I think they're both 2-night events. 2-week event, I should say. So you have to tune in both times to see the matches. But yeah, so Stacks gets the win here, walking out, gets a win, gets a rub. Start building him up as being the new Don once obviously Tony leaves. Because there's definitely some meat left on that bone as far as him taking it over. Excuse me, and moving forward as like the boss, and obviously he'll take on the other folks from the family. Eventually there's be some kind of internal turmoil, things like that, and all that good jazz. Like we see every great faction fall to at some point in time. The NXT Women's Championship, Stephanie Vacour, Jordan Grace. Again, not the sexy pick here. I'm probably very much in the minority for not. I don't think Stephanie walks out as your NXT Women's Champion. Only because, one, you need to pull the trigger on Jordan Grace. She's learned the WWE way. She's gotten way better in the ring, except dropping people on their necks 2 times in one match. Better on the mic, and plus, it's for me. Obviously, it's a lot of foreshadowing when you watch these. A lot more vignettes, getting into her history, getting into the story of her, why she's there, what she's done, things like that. That they're starting to build that up and talk about her, so you know who she is. On the other side of that, Vacour, I think, loses the match. Maybe has a one-off the Tuesday after. So next Tuesday, she gets some match, comes out, maybe does a soliloquy to the crowd. She hasn't really been down there that long, so it's not like she's wasn't like the black and gold, that kind of stuff, and like kind of saying her farewell to the fans. She is loved down. She is loved wherever she goes. This woman is amazing. Stephanie is probably more over than all the free agents that got signed. They love this woman. And not for nothing, too, all very tried and true. Amazing in the ring. Great at what she does. Getting a lot better on the mic, too, as far as English and things like that. Definitely honing the craft, getting ready when she does make that jump up to being a lot better on the mic as well. But I think Stephanie Victoria leaves, and it's clean. It's clean. Nobody's interfering. There's no rocks. There's no Julia. There's no one from the back. Nothing. It's clean. Because when things like this happen, you're going to pull someone out that's a champion. You're going to bring them, you're going to elevate them. You don't want them to leave on that note. You want them to leave on like, but they didn't like lose it. Or so-and-so. Jordan really didn't win it. Like, she won it because of this. You want it clean. You want it this precise. Jordan Grace wins the NXT Women's Championship, moves forward, taking it to SummerSlam, whatever the PLEs probably holds it for. I would guess that Jordan holds till at least stand and deliver. Maybe, quite possibly even defends as stand and deliver. You want to make her look like a monster in NXT because once she comes up to Raw or SmackDown, she's got a lot. Dude, I could sit here. We could talk about this for another 15, 20 minutes. The list of women that she is going to get her hands on Raw and SmackDown is going to be amazing. Obviously, renewing a lot of other stuff. Rox is going to be up there. Julia's going to be there. Stephanie's going to be up there waiting for her when she finally comes up. Rhea, Charlotte, Tiffany, Nia, just keep going down the list, man. That's what I'm saying. This is one of the deepest, best women's division in wrestling. I'm telling you, it's so close. And I know a lot of people have a great argument for AEW as well. Listen, they both do, and God bless them. Women's wrestling should be featured way more than what it is. NXT is probably the one promotion one show, I should say, in a promotion that really showcases the women's wrestling. AEW is like one match, two match if you're lucky. Like, they gotta let the women breathe a little more, man. They have such a deep roster. But with that being said, Jordan Grace, your new NXT Women's Champion. So before I get to Oba and Miles, which I think that match is gonna slay, we got Joe Hendry, Trick Williams for the TNA Championship. The first time the TNA title has been defended on WWE programming and one of their pay-per-views, PLEs, whatever the hell you want to call them. And again, I've been on record as saying this. I said it on Talking TNA 2 weeks ago. Definitely got to start putting out some shorts so you guys can see this. Like, so you don't have to go back and watch the shows. But yeah, no, I said it before. Isaiah, what's going on? What do you got to say here? The women's division, WWE and NXT, is strong like TNA knockout division was. No, absolutely. I agree. The knockouts was wild, man. At a time, it was crazy, probably one of the best. And like I said, NXT, WWE, they're killing it. But at AEW, do not shake a stick at them. Do not, because they have definitely a great women's roster there as well. Okay, glad you're throwing it out there. Stays on Joe. I like it. Let's go. Trick wins the title. There we go. That too as well. Okay, I like you guys. We're already 50-50. I like it. So here we go. So Trick Williams is very much main event ready. Main roster ready, if you will. It's very convoluted right now on the blue and red brand. Okay, say that 4 times fast. Very convoluted. All right, can't call him up yet. He get lost in the sauce, and also when he comes up, I think it's going to be with Mello. Once this Miz Mello thing is done, but it's not even close to being done yet. They're going to ride that out for a while before those two turn. Probably of their match, probably at SummerSlam or someone I don't know wherever. We've been waiting, and I've been talking about it. I know a lot of other people have said it too, but I've been waiting and talking about it month after month after month, ever since this crossover and this co-branding partnership has happened. We have NXT folks over on TNA, vice versa, TNA, WWE, Fatal 4-Ways, women matches, tag matches, championship matches, all this stuff. It's time. It's time, and Trick makes sense because it buys Trick time. Joe Hendry losing here. Joe is still Joe Hendry. Okay. He's still fine. If anything, he's the martyr. He goes back to Thursday. Yeah, he's going to go back to Thursday night and be like, I failed you guys. I'm sorry. I'm sure they're not done. There's going to be a flip back. Give it time. Premier Simps, I guarantee you, probably Slammiversary is going to be Trick and Joe. I'd like to see a one-on-one, but I feel like either Kaz or someone's going to get involved. Maybe AJ gets involved over on TNA in that world title picture, but definitely going to have another match run back, probably Slammiversary over on TNA. So now it's back over there with NXT coming over to their brand. Real quick, Mike over kicking out. And Sean still admits it's hard to book the women because there's so much talent. It is, man. It's wild. Like, I would not want to have that task of looking down weekly, week in and week out, and be like, man, I'm pretty sure it looks like they're doing it a little bit in Florida, but it looks like NXT stopped touring. They were going pretty hard for a while, but that's because of TKO. Because TKO is cutting down very, very much so on their house shows, which sucks. NXT was doing great moving across the country. They were doing shows in other places, just not out of the Performance Center. They went over great, but I digress. Hopefully TKO can let that grow and breathe, and kind of breathe a little bit and get them out of the PC, because I think they do great in little arenas, just like AEW has learned now. They're doing smaller venues. They're smashing it. Attendance is getting back up for them. So it just, don't put them in, obviously, like the Boston Garden. Put them in the MGM Music Hall. Do that. That works. But not having NXT on the road and going different places definitely hurts that brand. Obviously, you're filling it up every time down at the PC Center for every week taping, but you need to have them out in other places doing other stuff. And if I was CW, I'd push for that. I'd push for that and get higher ratings, them in different places, doing different stuff. If I was CW, I would listen, see how it looks, get it done. Let me see how that looks. If it sucks, cool, okay, we eat it. But damn, get them. You're bringing them out. You brought them to St. Louis. You brought them to Chicago. You brought them to Dallas. You're bringing them everywhere. Was it Dallas? It was Dallas. Maybe I'm wrong. Stampede's not in here, so he can't correct me. They've been all over the place. I think that's great for them. TNA does it. TNA's doing really good. They also have Anthem paying for them, not TKO, but it is what it is. But yeah, so let me go back to the theory that I had in either this match with Trick Williams and Joe Hendry or D'Angelo and Stax. Mark my words, one of these two matches, unless I'm way off the mark here and like totally not even in the same ballpark of anything, Dark State gets involved in one of these two matches. Dark State either becomes the new family for Stax Lorenzo, or helps Trick win this and Trick becomes, which I've called a long time ago. Trick is going to be the new leader of Dark State. And with the promo Dark State gave on Tuesday, stay tuned. You ain't seen nothing yet. Something is coming Saturday. And maybe I'm way off. Maybe they beat the hell out of Oba and Miles walks out. I don't know. But it's either going to be Stax as having a new family, which kind of sends Tony away pretty much. I mean, he kind of has to go build a new family, I guess, which could happen. Goes down to Evolve, grab some people, goes to TNA. You never know. Stuff could happen. But I really think Trick Williams dials in, knows how bad he needs that championship. Isaiah, thank you. Appreciate that. And like I said, I've been saying it for a long time. I was wrong a couple times. But it's just, it makes sense. It makes sense for either one, especially Stax. And now this is like, they come out, they all kind of surround Stax, and then like kind of they all turn around with Stax in front of them. They just look, and he just kind of gives the nod or gives like cutthroat rock style to Tony, and they all just attack Tony, beat the hell out of him. And then, like I said, but Trick is definitely the way to go here, because making it make sense is not just giving him a group, but because this gives Trick legs. This puts Trick, I don't want to say you don't call him up. Him in NXT till Stand Deliver for another rest of the year is tough. Because he's really ready, man. And you don't want that to win out. But as we see with John Cena, this massive heel turn is going to be even better for him to come back the other way eventually when Melo goes face and he brings up Trick. And those two kind of have one more run together. Obviously, they're going to feud one more time up here in the big leagues. Real quick from Isaiah. Luca and Rizzo. Rizzo is who you're talking about. Okay, yeah. See, I don't know, man. I don't know. That's tough. If I'll tell you what, if that goes down, again, depending on how these matches go out, if that happens, if Luca and Rizzo are the ones that, I can guarantee you Dark State's coming out to help Trick Williams. And maybe it's not even like a leadership kind of thing, right? It's almost like Punk with the Shield. Like, just help me win a match. And like when Punk's like, they don't work for me. Like, they don't. Dark State is for hire, man. They're mercenaries. They're shot callers. That's all it is. And that's when they made it perfectly made sense in that promo on Tuesday. Again, the foreshadowing WWE is always spot on. The fact that they're doing talking about what each guy brings, what they do, how they roll. And they're pretty much just menaces to society and NXT. Mike from kicking out. Trick could be great because then Joe has to go get an army from TNA and combat that. There we go. I'm not saying we go to some kind of weird war. Maybe we bring war games to TNA. I don't know. But it has been a minute since it's been a war games on NXT before it came up the Survivor Series. Just saying. And not for nothing. Again, Mike brings up a good point. Look what's going on over in TNA. You got Robert Stone over there doing a lot of things. There's a lot of moving parts. And I just think, aside from everything, you peel it all away, you strip it all down. Trick is ready to be a champion. Oba's not ready to give that belt up yet. But it does also make sense, too, what's going to happen on Tuesday night. Oba comes out with the belt. Sorry, spoiler alert of my next pick. Oba comes out. Who's still the ruler? Trick Williams music hits, comes down and goes, "Oh, what's up, buddy? I didn't need your belt. I got my belt right here." And then at some point, obviously, the lights go out. Dark State now surrounds the ring and tells Oba, like, now you're next. You know what I mean? There's legs to Trick being the champion here, and it makes sense for Dark State to get them over. Because when they do get called up, if they go up as a group, they could obviously, we know this, they're building them as a Shield-esque kind of group. They have a lot of stuff they can get done up there. That would be awesome stuff to see if done right. And I think the Shield was dropped kind of toward the end. Dean Ambrose, obviously Roman was the guy you got to push. And I'm sure there's a couple dudes in Dark State you want to push. You want certain ones to go, move forward. But Paul knows how to do it. They saw the mistakes with the Shield. Shawn knows how to get it done. And TKO, I'm sure, will love to have that as well. Have to see them going on doing it. So Trick Williams, with the help of Dark State, will be walking out your new TNA champion. And the best thing is now Trick is on Thursdays and on Tuesdays. You're getting finally the cross promotion of talking about stuff on Tuesday to get people to tune in on Thursday, which makes sense because now Robert Stone can make, just as I'm talking about it, now Robert Stone can make matches. Well, technically, I see him over on Tuesday, so guess what? We're going to do this. And then now Stone has more maneuverability. Santino's going to be pissed off because now NXT has telling you, Sunday is going to be awesome. Not saying it's going to compare to Double or Nothing, but they've definitely stacked this card in the right way where it's gonna slap, man. It's gonna be good. Excuse me, I dropped the paper. Sorry about that. Awesome. So then we come to our main event. Obafemi, Miles Bourne of the NQCC for the NXT Championship, Men's Championship. I think this match is surprisingly going to shock a lot of people. Bourne can go, man. He's awesome. He wasn't thrown into this for nothing. He's great in the ring. Awesome work on the mic. This past Tuesday showed you that. Is over with the fans. Gets you involved in the storyline. It was a great promo between the two of them, and you can tell Oba likes working with. This isn't Disney. This isn't a Disney movie. You don't get the fairy tale ending here. That's not it. You don't walk out. No one's walking out with my belt, and that's how it's going down. Like, that's such good stuff. Loved it. Love to see it. But unfortunately, at the end of the day, Oba's gonna be walking out your champion. Is there something nefarious? My thoughts are someone from NQCC interferes. They come to help, but they interfere. Obviously, we saw things that were going when he won the Battle Royal. A lot of dissension inside the group. So I think there's a little bit of interference, unintentional interference. Oba gets the 1, 2, 3. Obviously, not to just kind of bury Bourne. It's not a one and done kind of thing. Sure, it relates to maybe a rematch or something on TV, things like that. But he great talent. Can do great stuff, I think, in NXT. I can see him on Raw or SmackDown as like a mid-card guy. Good stuff out of him. So I'm excited for it. Isaiah, real quick, where we at? TNA needs to bring back Lockdown pay-per-view, have Team Santino versus Team Stone. Maybe we do. Maybe Santino does that. Thank you. That's a great take. That's a great call. Which I thought of that. Who's to say they don't run it back and do a callback for he comes out. You can see Santino doing his best William Regal. Lockdown! Like, doing his kind of they lock it down, the cage. Love me some Santino Marella, man. I love that man. That man is timeless. But no, that's a great idea, and maybe that's the route they go, because obviously now kind of War Games is up on the main brand with Survivor Series. But we all know the black and gold has a special place in Paul's heart. Obviously, with Sean, if they want to get on the main roster, they'll get it on the main roster. Awesome. So that's how I see the cards shaking out, guys. I think Saturday's going to be great. Not as predictable as you think it's going to be. And even if the people that you think are going to win, the way we get there, I think is going to be even better than what you think it's going to be. And obviously, Sunday, and again, 2 great pay-per-views going on. You got AEW Double or Nothing. You got Battleground going on. So, I'm going to have the TV and the computer rocking. I got to watch both, right? Logistically, I'm going to figure out when and how I'm doing post shows, but we're going to get it done. We're going to be up late. It's cool. I'm off the next day, so it's all right. We'll figure it out. But yeah, again, great weekend. Obviously, Friday, do not forget Under Siege TNA. Amazing pay-per-view card. We'll be talking about that Friday morning, giving our predictions, talking about that. They have amazing card built out for them as well. Battle of the Borders is going to be also Saturday as well. Great stuff. This is a great weekend to be a wrestling fan, as always, every week and every day is, but especially when it's this action-packed, man. If you don't have work, man, get a cold beverage, get some popcorn, and enjoy it, because it's going to be a great weekend. So that's that. I want to talk about that. I also want to get into LFG real quick. Not too much time on it, obviously. Your women's winner, Tyra May Steele, and your men's is Jasper Troy. Jasper Troy made an immediate impact this past Tuesday, attacking Obafemi. Getting out of the ring. My man almost tripped over the ring steps. Thank God he recovered. Oof, rough first way to be out there in that ring, man. He recovers, like, thank God. A lot of controversy. Now, if you watch this, I think before I go into the controversy aspect of it, I think this is probably one of the best competition shows to get a contract that they've had in a while. Obviously, I've been around for a long time. I've watched the Diva Searches. I've watched the Tough Enoughs. I've watched the Tough Enough Challenge, the $1 Million Tough Enough. You name it. R.I.P. headphone. Bro. But yeah, no. So a lot of controversy that was involved in the winners here. But this show definitely had a lot of vibes. TKO definitely, when they did this, they wanted to make it done right. I think the judges were greatly picked. Bubba Ray, always a spark plug, always an electric rod that is always going to cause controversy. He just rubs people the wrong way or the right way, but he always gets the best out of people. Undertaker was amazing in what he did this year. Mickie James, sad to hear she's not coming back next year. Talk about whatever the reason for that is. It's unfortunate. They did just get re-up for 6 more seasons, which is at the next 3 years. So two seasons a year. So hopefully, Mickey is going to be replaced by Michelle McCool, Mark Calloway, Undertaker's wife, as a judge, and Booker T, obviously, a great judge as well. Great stuff. But I think it was a good mix of Ultimate Fighter and Tough Enoughs put together. Did a great job. Nothing too scripted, and I don't think a lot of it was really. A lot of these kids, and a lot of them, I'm very blessed. A lot of the LFG folks follow me on X. They follow ChairShot Sports. I've reached out to them, talked to them, trying to get them on the shows. I got to go through media, all that good stuff. I'm working on that. But they cut their chops on social media. And that had such a big deal to do, I think, with the winners. But not when it comes to the last men and the women. Zena Sterling, the women's runner-up, was huge on social media. Such a presence. Shiloh Hill, amazing stuff. The whole antic, not having the tooth, losing it, and just made a whole thing out of it on a daily basis. It's sad to see those two not go. Again, nothing against Jasper, nothing against Tyra, nothing at all. Hard fought, very well deserved. Great to see them now in NXT. Great to see what's going to happen moving forward with them. Great stuff. But honestly, Jasper's a big boy, man. He's really good in the ring. But honestly, man, like if you're looking for all around kind of stuff, and Sean said it in the final, if you didn't watch it, he's like, this is probably one of the hardest decisions I've had to make ever in this position, is being like, a GM and a director, like an executive. He's like, this has been probably one of the toughest things for me to do. The cool thing is, both of these folks, the winners, Tyra and Jasper, are both from Undertaker. So Undertaker is your first ever LFG champion in regards to being for coaches. Maybe that's why he got to bring his wife on for next season. I don't know. But anyway, but if you didn't watch LFG at all this year, if you caught bits and pieces, man, definitely do yourself a favor. DVR it, set a reminder, check it out for the next season. I think it's only going to get better from here, especially, like I said, with TKO having a hand in this. You get a lot of raw vibes, and someone like Bully Ray, someone like Booker T, even Undertaker kind of starting to like open his mouth a little bit more, get involved. Mickey was great too, don't get me wrong. But Bubba Ray, obviously, day in, day out, just gets the best out of people, or sometimes the worst. But just, it was a great show, great stuff to watch, very, very entertaining from start to finish on a weekly basis. I can't think of one week that went by that wasn't that good. Mike, picking out at 2. I think coaches shouldn't be judges, but that's really the only change I would say. I get that too. I think maybe you opened up to a lot of stuff too. I mean, you go the route of, you make it almost American Idol style. No, call this number. Go on X. Go on here. It's tough. And you got to think too, maybe if you go that route with it, maybe someone doesn't know who Jasper Troy is, but they know who Shiloh Hill is because they follow him on X. They're voting for the name. Maybe they don't watch LFG, but they just want to vote and partake, and then they'll watch to see if the person they voted for won. So I kind of get taking the fan vote out of it. Fans can be finicky. My boy Daniel Bryan. Fickle. So I do appreciate the judges doing it. Maybe get an alternate panel, maybe to talk about it. I don't know. But I do agree with that. That's a little more where I'm like, but I also don't want to give it to the fans, because then you're just kind of looking at people who don't watch, who they throw it up there to vote. They're picking the name they know. Oh, I don't watch shit. Who's the? I know that guy. Okay, I'll vote for them. And that's kind of where we go that route. But I agree. That's probably one of the big things they should talk about and kind of look into and see what happens. Awesome. So let's see. We talked about Battleground. We talked about Saturday Main Event. We talked about SmackDown, Raw, and NXT. We talked about LFG. I guess there's really nothing else to really. Oh, right. Probably some of the reasons some of you are still watching me, unfortunately. So right, as I talked about earlier on X, we have some big news here at ChairShot Sports. I've been doing ChairShot Sports. I created this moniker about 4.5 years ago, a little after COVID started. Figured I'd throw my name into the podcast business. Me and a friend of mine, Mike, we're doing this. He didn't last that too long with me. Just didn't kind of work out, unfortunately. Nothing bad, just wasn't really a good vibe. Total Control, one man. I came back at the wrong time. I'm behind on LFG as I was stuck in Texas and couldn't watch. Well, hey man, listen, if you want to binge something, go grab a drink or something, man. Check it out. Definitely won't be disappointed with checking out their series. I can see the Jasper pick because of the late start of improvement of Shiloh and the injury that started. But man, Xena will be the Miz in this case. We'll see more of her without winning. Oh, absolutely, man. I think she said she didn't. What would she say? She didn't win. I got over or something like that. Like how she quoted it. And she's right, man. Like and all of these folks, again, go look at their socials, man. They had a great time with it. They did great stuff. Got a lot of followers, engaged a lot of fans. Got a lot of people to watch LFG to see them on the screen. And that's kind of the big thing about it. They're already working on the promo work, getting over with the crowd. That's kind of the biggest thing I like about the LFG thought. They're like, hey, go on socials. Start building your fan base. Go to it. Let's go. You know what I mean? I like the rotating judges, like when AJ Punk, etc., had the points. No, agreed. That was good as well. I do like that. Total Control. I'm at the point where they started the playoffs. Oh, okay. Yeah, it's good, man. Keep going. It gets good. It's very, very good. I don't think like I said, there was one bad week that I can never remember. I mean, all of it was action packed. It's funny. It's gritty. Like I said, Bubba, if you think Bubba's out there acting, man, he will kick your ass and he'll punch you in the face and smile at you while he does it. And that's why he's one of the best coaches out there, man. Nothing against Undertaker, nothing against Booker T, and I'm sure what was that? Devon in that turd. Come on, man. And I'm sure Michelle will do awesome as well. So anyway, let me get back to what I was saying. So I started about 4.5 years ago after COVID. Me and my boy started. It didn't really work out. So fortunately, I kept it going. I just kept the torch. I just kept running. I was doing podcasts, Spotify, the whole nine. And then finally, I got into X to start kind of getting into the whole thing, kind of doing consistently. Not to give you a whole soliloquy of everything on the story about me. Pretty much at the end of the day, I met some really cool people on X. Really met some cool wrestlers. Met some great influencers as well. They're in the business, kind of had a hand in it. Had some mentors and things like that. And I guess 4.5 years now. This past January, I was able to start the ChairShot Media Group with some amazing, amazing people. Big Mike, Jesse B, and Vinny from Suds of Square Circle, who we've all been friends for a long time, and decided we all kind of have a one mind for wrestling and how much we enjoy all of it, and wanted to kind of talk about it on a weekly basis together on different shows. With that being said, obviously, I kind of went crazy, and I have a show on Monday, I have a show on Friday, a show on Thursday for TNA. I have this Wednesday show. I do something with Jesse on Wednesday nights. Then we do prediction shows. I've talked to some amazing wrestlers, amazing legends in the business, done great prediction shows, talked to so many great names in doing this. And before I announce any of this, none of this would be possible. Like, this would just be me talking to a camera, just talking to myself pretty much. But everyone tuning in, I got 120 in here right now on a random Wednesday night. You guys are hitting the like button. You guys are subscribing to me. We've had my YouTube ChairShot Sports as a group. We've had it from the media group. We've had it since January. We're almost at 400 subscribers. So please, if you haven't already, should be subscribed. The 1,000 is the goal by the end of 2025. But with that being said, I've had some talks with some kind of more mainstream media outlets. And I'm very, very excited to say this very show that you're watching right now, the ChairShot Sports Weekend Wrestling, after tonight, once we sign off, this will be the last time you'll be able to find this show on ChairShot Media Group. It was going to be going exclusively to the bodyslam.net platform. Be there live, same time slot, everything on Wednesdays. Just be doing it on their platform, working with some other talent from bodyslam.net. And myself, I'll be moving forward in the future, doing media, doing scrums, things like that, working with some of the people over there at bodyslam.net as well. So huge shout out to Cassidy, the owner and creator of bodyslam.net, man. I really appreciate you taking a chance. Obviously, he sees the product. He sees what we do on a weekly basis, myself and everyone else in the group. But also, we're not going anywhere. This is not going anywhere. I'm literally just working with another company, bringing this particular show over there. It's big for us. It starts getting ChairShot out on the national brand, on a national platform. A lot more eyes are on the product. So it's going to be good for us growing on. We just recently brought some folks in to the group. There's a couple more announcements coming next couple weeks. So the media group is growing. We're not going anywhere. This is a mainstay. I'm very, very close to just trademarking ChairShot Media Group just so no one else could ever take it from me. This is my baby. I've had it, like I said, for a long, long time. And this is almost like my honorary third child. Nothing against my two daughters, but this is like the third, my honorary child. And I've had the pleasure of raising it with Jesse B, with Big Mike, and with Vinny as well. So it's just a big step for all of us. Like I said, but myself, I'll be taking this show over there, doing some more work with Body Slam. Obviously, who knows, maybe you turn on SummerSlam, you turn on Survivor Series in the next coming months, and you hear, yeah, it's going on. Next question, John Anthony, ChairShot Sports, and I'm asking some questions to some of the big wrestlers coming out of the PLEs or pay-per-views. So, but that's the big news. Sorry if it was a little anticlimactic for some of you, but we're not going anywhere. I'm not going anywhere. The team is only going to start getting larger, but this is just a big deal for a lot of the fruits of the labor that we've done here, and me building this up and making it what it is, and obviously having great talent around me. I couldn't do it with any of them. Without any of them, I could not do it with any of you watching right now. Isaiah, thanks, man. Appreciate you. Thank you. All the congrats, man. I appreciate you guys. Michael, thank you. I appreciate that. Michael is someone who's always watching all my shows, man. It means a lot. But again, I can only take so much credit to just kind of turn on the camera. You guys tune in, watch it, listen to me yap for an hour and a half, and making stupid jokes and probably stupid predictions too. But it's what I love. It's what I do. It's what all of us here at the media group love to do. And you guys watch it and we appreciate you. So yeah, that's that. And yeah, again, the most sincerest thank yous to all of you. I cannot be more humble to thank you, all of you. So with that being said, though, I cannot do any of that if you do not continue to like, comment, subscribe, ring the bell, do the thing. And if there's anything else you do, if you're not down to subscribe, you're like, I don't want to pop it up in my feed, I'll tune in if I want to watch. The least you can do, if there's one thing you do before you get out of here, hit the thumbs up button. I appreciate that. 115 people are in here right now. It does me a huge favor. It tells YouTube, listen, this guy's got some cool content. We like them. Put them in the algorithm. And again, it's not just me that benefits. It helps Mike. It helps Spedrock. It helps Jesse. It helps Vinny. It brings our network and our shows out to everybody because it runs on one network. So the thumbs up is more important than you could ever know. If you're not down for commitment, if you're scared of commitment, you want to get a couple more dates, I'm fine with that. But you got to ring the bell to do that so you know when we're on. But definitely please hit that thumbs up. It's the best thing I can ask of you guys anytime you watch our shows. But yeah, that's all I got for you guys, man. I think it's going to be an amazing weekend. Obviously, very, very busy. Next weekend, next Saturday, Sunday, Monday, we are pretty jam-packed. I have 3 Money in the Bank prediction shows. A lot of faces you may know, some you may not. Huge names coming on for this upcoming next weekend, and obviously Money in the Bank the weekend after that. Prediction: we're going to be doing a Worlds Collide prediction show right after Worlds Collide. We'll be doing a wrap up real quick, post production after Money in the Bank. So it just does not stop. Rest when I'm dead, man. I'm telling you. But obviously, yeah. Next time I'll catch you guys. Definitely tune in this upcoming Friday morning, 11 a.m. Talking TNA Under Siege Prediction Edition, and then obviously I'll talk to you guys Sunday, going over Battleground, and then going over Double or Nothing. And I'll talk to you on Monday about Raw. And like I said, the train never stops, baby. It's all good. Mike, as I think I can say it better myself, do the thing and crack open some Chairwisers. Enjoy the weekend. Yeah. But guys, again, man, I couldn't do anything with all of you, and so heartfelt to all of you, man. You guys are amazing, and I thank each and every one of you for your support. Either whether it's like last week or day one-ish, I appreciate all that. So with that being said, guys, I'm John Anthony, and we will catch you guys Friday morning for TNA Under Siege.